Welcome to JD's Prep. All right, so the next few questions are based on this blurb and this table. So we're going to read through this in detail. So as pioneers moved west in the mid-1800s, the greater prairie chicken population in Illinois was estimated to number in the millions. But since then, their population has drastically declined. So the rapidly declining population, evidence to support that was obtained by studying the number of eggs that hatched over several years. So in this county, the number of prairie chickens fell from 2,000 to less than 50 in under 35 years. Researchers compared the DNA from feather samples from the living Illinois chickens to the DNA from feather samples dating back to the year 1930, and it was found, this is key, that the living Illinois chicken population had a very low level of genetic diversity. So, in 1992, researchers tried to increase genetic variation by introducing more prairie chickens into the population from different states. So this data table below, it shows the changes in the percent of eggs that hatched from samples taken in different years. Researchers have documented that this increase in the percent of eggs that hatched was not influenced by environmental events. So we're assuming that the data that we have here can be explained not by environmental events, but by likely genetic diversity. All right, so the first thing we've been asked to do is to label the y-axis, okay? The x-axis here is labeled years. That's from this data. So the y-axis we are going to label as percent of eggs hatched. So I'll just add that in right now. All right, I've added in the axis there. As usual, yours should look hopefully neater than that because you're not writing it on a tablet. So next we need to look at the range for the y-axis, and we need to label that. So when you're looking at a range, you usually look at kind of the range of the numbers that you have. So we have from 38 to 94. So keep in mind that range, but in general, we're being asked to represent a percentage. So going from 0 to 100 is a really great idea to represent that percentage clearly. Okay, we have enough room there to go up to 100 by tens, which should work really well. So I'll just add that in now. And there's our range right there. And lastly, we're being asked to actually plot this data. So we're going to make a bar graph. So you're going to use the numbers from the table, plot that on the graph, and shade in each bar. So I'll just take some time and do that now. And your bar graph should look something like this. And last, the scientists transported prairie chickens from 3 different states into the state of Illinois in order to increase genetic diversity. So that is straight from the blurb that we were given at the beginning. Interesting to note is that that transporting or the addition of those other prairie chickens happened in 1992, which is in here, and we can see that there was a big increase in the percent of eggs hatched, which indicates that indeed that helped. All right, thank you for using JD's Prep.